call and welcome Mr. Welford Williams. It's another brother of ours, a fellow blerd, you heard or whatnot, who has come all the way from Richmond, Virginia, down here to Charlotte, North Carolina, man. Down to Charlotte, you know what I'm saying, to spend some time with us.
Absolutely.
Or whatnot. Regardless of the circumstances, we are so glad to have you here.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to be here, man.
Yeah, man.
It's so good to be here.
You want to tell them a little bit about yourself and
Sure.
what you do?
Welford Williams. I started writing books when I was over the road truck driving. My sister is a publisher and author. She just brought it up to me one day while I was driving the truck. She said, Welford, I think you need to write some books. You know, and I thought about it for a minute, and I said, my God, you're right. I do. That's inside of me to write some books. Because at that time I was going through separation and divorce, and it was really hard. And I always have done writing as a reflection, you know, to reflect on things I've been through, you know, poems how came out of it from different times in my past. And I was like, you know, sister, that makes a lot of sense. I'm going to start writing. And I wrote the first book. I think you have it somewhere if you want to show it, called Super Souls. And Super Souls was my first book. Before I write a book, I always pray. And God showed me that Super Souls. I didn't know that was going to be the name. I knew I wanted to be called Super something. But when I was driving the truck through up north through Pennsylvania, there was the time of their Universal Soul Circus. I saw it on the billboard, Super Souls. That's it. You know, I was like, yeah. So then, and it seemed like once I got the title of the book, when I started writing, it just started flowing and going, man. You know, I was like, wow. And, you know, I was like, I didn't even realize I was pregnant with a book. And it literally did take 9 months to finish writing the book. No, just like an authentic pregnancy, man.
That's cool. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And like you said, he just literally signed a copy of the book for me tonight. He also, Black Samurai shows another book of his.
What It Is to Love a Black Man.
Yes, which is so important, y'all.
Yes.
We need love too. Oh man,
yes.
We need love as much as a lot of us don't want to admit it.
Yes.
We need love. You know what I'm saying?
You know, not to call us dogs and all that kind of crazy stuff. You know that it's not really who we are anyway. At the end of the day, we really Africans, but was misplaced and replaced. And therefore, we have learned another way, which is not our way. You know, and so that's what that book is really all about. It's very empowering. It was my second book. Ironically, writing that book actually came from a girl in Winchester, Virginia. White girl I had just sold a book to about 2 months ago, sold Super Souls to her. She read it. She said, Mr. Williams, I got to tell you, my mom read Super Souls. My sister read it. I read Super Souls. We want to tell you, I was a truck driver at the time, you are not just a truck driver. You should be writing books. I said, thank you so much. I went on my knees. I asked God, what is it, God? What else you want out of me? And I felt like God was sitting there looking at me like this. And I was like, what is that all about? And then all of a sudden it came to me, what it is to love a black man. What it is to love a black man. Not all this other stuff where people are making money off of us in Hollywood, songs about us in the music industry on how bad we are and all that kind of stuff. Let's start focusing on the good, because there's a whole lot more of us that are good than those of us who are doing wrong and bad.
That's even statistically true, because a lot of people think that the black father is absent or whatever, which, you know, we could go through the whole disintegration of the black family and whatnot, the breakdown of it. But statistically, it's a proven fact that black fathers are there for their kids more.
My father, God rest his soul, you know, he's just left us about a month ago, or better now. But in Halloween time, he used to always cook beans and pork and beans and hot dogs. You know.
So many ways.
Yeah. Every so I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, come Halloween, I like to eat pork and beans and hot dogs. You know, cut my onions up and throw it in.
Oh,
Yeah,
you gotta have them onions.
gotta have your onions, right?
Okay.
Right. Well, I guess we all have Halloween traditions. A lot of times people don't really talk about. But I've talked to a lot of people working as a cashier part time with people on their things they love to do at Halloween, and it's amazing, man. How people decorate their homes and just go all out, just like we did when we were kids at Halloween time, man. It's not. I don't think it's. I don't consider. Even though we know some of the history about Hallows Eve and things of that nature. I think it's just like anything else. It's what you make of it, you know, and what you bring to it, your community. I feel like it's still a thing just for our families and our children, for us to have a good time, dress up, which is what everyone really loves to do anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. I was thinking about Halloween this year, and there's a neighborhood like so. My neighborhood that I'm directly in, no kids, like literally none. But maybe half a mile of the street, those families like they're like young families, as you know, raising families or whatever. And it's a well-to-do part of the area, so we get all the real good candy. We go over there. But last year, one of the kids that like they had with the dad was like, let me get out. The kid, youngest kid, was handing the candy out, but then he would take the stuff that he wanted to keep later and kind of put it to the side and give away the candy that he didn't want.
Right.
But those people, they every holiday they go all the way out with decorations. I mean, last year they had like a 14-foot tall Grim Reaper that was letting smoke come out of his out of the face, and he would move. You get close to it.
Oh,
that's
wow.
what shook my little one up.
I'm sure.
But there's a lot of people, all different ethnicities, walking around the neighborhood. There's a house that we go to every year, and they do a different theme. And when it was like, yeah, if you can guess who we are, yada yada yada. I was like, y'all the Beastie Boys. They was like, you're the first one to get it. I'm like, I'm an '80s baby, so obviously I know who the Beastie Boys are.
Yes.
So yeah, I love it. I love that aspect. And just for that one night. The weird thing is, I know, in my opinion, like now, when I was a kid, Halloween used to be cold. We used to be freezing outside during Halloween.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially growing up in the country.
Yeah.
Now, man, it might get a little chilly, you know, or whatever, but it ain't the same Halloween. You know, it's a little bit more frightening with a little bit more chill in the air or whatnot. But
yeah, we scared of rain a lot. But it was cold too, though. You're right. And usually we got either or, you know, just rain on Halloween or coldness. But you're right, now it's a little different now. It don't feel quite the same.
Yeah.
Weather-wise, it does make a difference on how I feel. It still looks the same though, because you know the leaves have started to drop by that time. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a very, very good time, I feel like. But yeah, man. I think it's a good thing y'all got going, man. Keep it up, man, because you know, community is so important. But like I said, when I used to drive that tractor trailer, what really took me off of that truck was things like this, you know, family, friends, community engagements, you know, church, just being part of the community again. I feel like that's what our culture is struggling with today, is cohesion, is to get the sense of cohesion back. You know, I think we're missing a lot of that today. You know, we're missing cohesion in the church. You know, so much of our church is about that and not really about cohesion, you know, which is the cookouts, you know, the bingo night, you know, all of the things that brought different parts of the body of Christ together. You know, I don't think we have as many conventions as we used to have in the church. You know, in Richmond, Virginia, we used to have the Richmond Coliseum. That's shut down for many years now. But we used to have the Baptist Convention there. And that brought all of the Baptist churches and stuff, you know, there. So I really feel like today we're really missing a lot of cohesion. Things like Comic-Cons and our events like, you know, Halloween, Christmas, and all these holidays, visiting friends, is bringing back that sense of cohesion. And it's so important, man, for us to have that. It makes us a healthier community. I believe most cases when you have violence and all of that kind of stuff that take place in neighborhoods and stuff is because that nurture and that cohesion wasn't there, which caused kids to do their own stuff, which is not good because there's no leadership there and stuff.
Yeah, it is tough. Like you said, like the last, I don't even know. I think at early 2000s when I started college. That's when we really started kind of. I mean, we've been kind of. There's been an agenda to separate us as people, but I think it really, started happening again within my generation, 80s babies around that time, like just this disconnect amongst each other. There is an event they do out here every couple months. This brother goes to different cities. It's called Hop Karaoke. And I went last year for the first time. And when they was like, oh, it's at the Fillmore. And I was like, when I got there, I was like, oh, man. And I'm telling you, they did, it was hip hop karaoke, but they also did music from like the 60s or 70s on up to present day. Because wasn't just young people, it was some older folks in there too.
Nice.
That could get up and do the karaoke or whatever. It was your time to shine on the stage.
Right.
And nobody fought. Everybody was singing, dancing. It was kind of almost like a Comic-Con thing, a little aspect to it too. Because I remember this one group of young ladies that came. There's about 5 or 6 of them. They came in there dressed like grandmas and had pillows in their under their what do they call the little gowns the old women be wearing, the muumuus. They had pillows up under the muumuus and they were shaking around like they had big butts and stuff with canes and stuff that was dancing.
That's awesome.
So it was some people in costume at this hip hop karaoke event. So I'm like, all right, if they'll dress up for that, if we do a blurred con or whatever in Charlotte, I really believe we'll get a large turnout. And it's not just Charlotte, it's we still got Greensboro, you got Raleigh, you got down people in South Carolina or whatnot. It's just like kind of like what you were saying earlier, is when you provide a space for people to be comfortable to be themselves, they'll come.
That's it.
They will come.
That's it.
A lot of us
already got a lot of the makings in your head already on what it will take. You already have this filming thing. You already have a following. Your vendors, they come easy once you start posting it. They will literally start coming to you. They help you also get the word out. When you put it on Facebook, use a lot of different media feeds like Facebook and stuff, Instagram. You'll be surprised. Give yourself at least a year's time, at least to the least, to get the word out. And yes, you will get a nice turnout. Let the local media know about it. That it will be the first ethnicity type of Comic-Con in your area. Of course, it's not only going to be black. It's going to be a little bit everybody who's still going to come. And it will happen just like mine has. My last one did. Once you just got, and you really do need a team of people. Just the two of you is not going to do it. You need a team of people to man various things. And that's not as hard to get as you think it is once you start putting the word out.
The Two Geeks and a Nerd freestyle.
All right.
Freestyle. But the Halloween edition. So, man, maybe this will be a yearly thing. I can see this being a yearly thing. Always remember to like, share, comment, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And our email is 2geeksandnerdpro@gmail.com for any questions, concerns, or comments. Please subscribe to that YouTube channel also. And give us that feedback, y'all. We know what we want to give you, but we want to know what you want. You know what I'm saying? We want to feed you what you want while also satisfying our own appetites. So until next time, we the geeks, but you are the nerds. Peace.